All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, Jaron Ennis and Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford fans are mad at Jaron Ennis because Jaron Ennis did not give or pay respect to Terence Crawford the way that he should have after Jaron Ennis responds or reacts to Terence's win over Canelo Alvarez. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. In this video, we're going to be in the 168-pound division and the 154-pound division, where Jaron Boots Ennis ain't really trying to hear all of that about how Terence Crawford is one of the greatest fighters of all time. And he reacts to the Canelo Alvarez fight with Terence Crawford. And this has Terence Crawford's fans very, very, very predictably in an uproar. But before I get into that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you guys so much for what you do for the channel. It means a lot, especially to the people that support in the super thanks of videos like this. It really, really does top off the video and helps us make it profitable. So thank you guys so much for your donations. But let's get into this because, look, man, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. In my personal opinion, he's the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. He's been the #1 pound-for-pound fighter for a while now. I think ever since Andre Ward retired, but definitely for sure now that he beat Canelo Alvarez at 168 and became an undisputed champion in his 3rd division and became a world champion in his 4th division, but really a world champion in weight classes that span 6 weight divisions. So he's a big deal. He's an excellent fighter. However, don't expect for Jaron Ennis to be throwing flowers at him and telling him how great he is, because that's not the position that Jaron Ennis is in. Jaron Ennis is in the position of somebody that wanted to fight Terence Crawford, that Terence Crawford refused to fight. So if you expect for somebody to be like bending over backwards to compliment you after you refuse to fight them and you're the fight that they need for them to get over, don't expect it. So Jaron Ennis didn't surprise me when Jaron Ennis was asked about the performance with Canelo, and he said, yeah, it was a good performance. Yeah, it was a great, yeah, it was Terence Crawford is a great fighter. It was a great performance. And they say, well, what do you think about Terence and fighting Terence? He's like, well, I'm not thinking about Terence. I'm thinking about this next guy that's in front of me. I'm going to fight this guy, and that's where my mentality is. That's where my focus is. Well, they push him further and ask him about, who's going to be on your Mount Rushmore of fighters. Is Terence Crawford on your Mount Rushmore of fighters? By Mount Rushmore, they mean a big mountain where you put like the faces of the most important fighters, right? Like Mount Rushmore in reality has a picture of, founding presidents, some of the most important presidents. So he says, no, I would not put him on there. I think who he named was guys like Floyd Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker, Sugar Ray Leonard, James Toney, Roy Jones. Those are the type of people that he would put on his Mount Rushmore. So Bud does not go on my Mount Rushmore. And people are thinking that this is hating on Terence Crawford. No, it is not hating on Terence Crawford for you to say, no, he's not my top 4 or top 5 fighters of all time. In fact, if you count long enough, you may get to him at 10. You may get to him at 8. That is still a huge compliment considering the people that people put on their Mount Rushmore. Like for me personally, excuse me, my Mount Rushmore is Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather, Sugar Ray Robinson, Roy Jones, Sugar Ray Leonard, guys like Henry Armstrong. Those are the guys that I look like. But specifically, I don't have Terence Crawford on my Mount Rushmore because Terence Crawford is younger than me. I mean, I know Floyd is as well, but Floyd and I are close enough to contemporaries where I kind of saw what he was doing the entire time. And for me, I think his career is more impressive than Terence Crawford. I think Ali's career is more impressive than Terence Crawford at this point. I think Sugar Ray Leonard's career is more impressive at this point in time than Terence Crawford is. And Roy Jones Jr., I think Roy Jones Jr. was better at his peak and took on more challenges at his peak than Terence Crawford did. One of the things, like some of the reasons that I'm not putting, and I'll not just say Terence Crawford, but I'm going to use a couple other examples of people that I'm not putting on my Mount Rushmore, is because these guys have been fighting. Like, for example, Terence has been fighting one time a year for the last 5 or 6 years. And there's a lot of fights with Terence where I'm like, yeah, he won the fight, but there's a lot of gamesmanship and a lot of gimmickry leading into the fight that puts Terence Crawford in the best position to win that fight. Also, I don't have Canelo Alvarez on there because Canelo Alvarez popped. I'm telling you, I left the subject alone for Canelo. I left the subject alone for Terence Crawford. But man, Terence Crawford putting on all that weight and fighting Canelo Alvarez and looking like he's stronger than Canelo Alvarez, man, for me, that's major. That's a major major red flags for me. But that's not saying that I don't believe that Terence Crawford is the best fighter today. I just don't know what Terence Crawford is going to do in ages where there aren't where there's no snack. Let me put it that way. Fight against guys when there's no snack, when you can't put 25 pounds of muscle on by fighting one time in 2 years, right? These other guys had to fight. Like, think about this. Terence Crawford is 38 years old. That's the same age that Muhammad Ali was when he retired. How many fights has Muhammad Ali had? Well over 60. How many fights does Terence Crawford have? 40. And Terence Crawford has been fighting as a professional almost 20, pushing on 15, 16 years. He's been for 18 years, I think. He's been a professional fighter for 18 years. 40 fights over 18 years. That's not a lot of work. That's even Floyd Mayweather Jr., who was inactive in the later part of his career, still got to 50 fights. Bud is at 40 at 38 years old. No, his resume is too handpicked, and he didn't put in enough work at 40 fights. And I'll say the same thing about Andre Ward. Andre Ward is not on my Mount Rushmore again. Also, Andre Ward does not have the fights. These guys that are going to have undefeated careers but ended 38 fights, 40, 42 fights, only reason that as far as I'm concerned, the only reason you're undefeated is because you didn't get to 50 fights. You didn't get to 60 fights. You're protecting your legacy by shortening your legacy. No, I don't think that works in a Mount Rushmore type of setting, personally. So, look, Jaron Ennis has the right to name whoever he wants to name as on his Mount Rushmore. He is a contemporary and fighting at the same time that Terence Crawford is fighting. He doesn't have to worship Terence Crawford and put Terence Crawford on some immortalize him while Terence Crawford is still fighting, and Jaron Ennis feels or could possibly feel like he was not given the opportunity to prove that he was better than Terence Crawford, right? So anyway, I think it's a great conversation. I don't believe that there should be any real outrage about Jaron Ennis saying anything, but you've got the media bots out there trying to tear down the man for whatever he does. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.